Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this practice can help for us. Because the way you understand about the practice will help for you to yourself gain the result. And when you expand your understanding, and that itself allow you to grow inside you your own practice. So that's why it is very important yourself to become very clear. Maybe you think, oh, I know. But when it comes to yourself, sometimes to explain yourself by your own understanding, and you can't clarify the path itself, how going to take you towards the result. So when it comes to this practice, first we have to understand the very place where we are, because that understanding will help us to recognize what is this samatha and vipassana. When it comes to today, this all the understanding regarding the religions, philosophy, science, this all based with the knowledge. So especially when it comes to the religion, that the religions start with the Abraham. So the religions with the Catholic, Christianity, and the Islam, Judaism. So those are the major, the path was for religions. And with that understanding, if you start to look for the Buddha's teaching, you may not going to understand it exactly what the Buddha taught, because you already have your point of view based with the religion. And when it comes to the philosophy, so as you know, the father of philosophy, Socrates. So if you base with that understanding according to the Western world, and in that point of view, if you start to look for the Buddhism, you may not going to recognize what the Buddha taught. And when it comes to the science, and the most of things that nowadays, this new science based on the theories, came out of the after the Galileo. So he was the father of science. And out of that knowledge, if you start to look for the Buddha's teaching, still you're not going to get what the Buddha taught. So then how we can find this? So that's why clarifying ourselves, the path itself, is very important. So because this is a very different way of understanding regarding the life. So this, as example, is all of you walk on this path. So when it to come to the path, the very meaning in Sanskrit, it called the marga, the one of the ancient language, and the Pali is called the magga. So the magga is nowadays is the kind of like the road. So when it comes to the road, this marga or the path or the magga, in the ancient time, they had the purpose for that. If anybody walk on this path, and there is a purpose. So one of the thing is this path allow you to shift yourself when you walk on the path, and it allow you to grow, and it allow you to change with the practice. And it allow you to become more matured. It allow you to grow with interference, not waiting somewhere and allowing the growth happen somewhere else. No, you are interfering. That interfering itself allow you to grow, happen the growth inside you, and by the time you become matured, and that maturity allow you to shift yourself consciously. So that is the very meaning of walking on the path. And at the same time, that whatever the shift happen, it happen in an irreversible way. It cannot take you backward. You can't go backward to yourself. It always allow you to become a better person. So that is the very purpose of walking in this path. And at the same time, why people start to walk in this path? Why the Buddha introduced this? Now you have to understand, it happened before the religion. That's mean before the Abraham introduced this all the religions. It happens before the philosophy, before the Socrates. It happened before the science, before the Galileo. So it was a very different way of understanding. And it introduced by a very luxurious person, had a very luxurious life, and he gave up everything himself into his own practice, and he went through all the teachers, and himself by practicing day by day, non-stop, more than 6 years, went through all the very difficult ascetic practice, and by himself putting his own life and investigating his own thoughts, and he found out this path. It's totally different than any other science or the technology or the methods. But still it has a science. It has a philosophy. It has a method. So what is the very meaning of this path? As all of us know, get out of the suffering. No one wants to suffer. That is the very purpose of this path. But still, if you don't take this path, why the Buddha introduced this path? Because before the Buddha, even the people knew suffering, as you know, that the ascetic practice, very rigorous, difficult yogic practice, there were people used to do that. They all had the one purpose, get out of the suffering. So then, still today all over the world, people are struggling. And deeper underneath their heart, silently, sometimes people have wishes to get out of the suffering. So then what is the different in this path? Why it is different from than other things? So this is what. So the first we have to understand what the suffering we understand and the way we try to fix it. And then we can go, what is the different when you walk in this path and how you can get out of it. So we also understand suffering. That suffering is always, we look with the self-guarding ourselves, with the self-centered. Oh, I suffer. And it mostly related to feelings. And we have a desire to satisfy. And when we can't get into that satisfaction, or when we can't fulfill our desires, we take it as a suffering. Another thing is that with that evaluation regarding our own life, what we do, and always superimpose, that means place and lie down over something else regarding our life. And superimposition. So we always an action and placing one thing over another thing. So this superimpose and superimposition itself allow us to find a solution for suffering. That's why, oh, I know why I am suffering. And then what we does. So that, as you know, the Buddha mentioned the suffering, cause of suffering, and the cessation, and the path to cessation of the suffering. So now we know the suffering. What is the suffering? We don't know. So we know, oh, I have the self-desire, satisfaction. I want to reach to that. If I can't reach to it, I am unhappy. And cause of suffering, what is the cause of suffering? Oh, I suffer because of this, because of that. Oh, I suffer because of this person, that person. I suffer because of him. I suffer because of her. That is the mistake we do. Not only us, before the Buddha, even after the Buddha, whoever don't walk in this path, still that things, that whatever the difficulty that go through themselves, they think the reason is outside. And cessation of suffering. When you look, when you find out the reasons that from outside, what we does, we try to destroy that reason from whatever happened in the outside, whatever we recognize from outside. And then we plan for that. Look at the whole world. What is the meaning of government today? What is the meaning of country today? And what is the meaning of comfortable living, the living today? And that we always try to attack to somebody or something, believing if we destroy that, I'm going to be in peace. See, that's what everywhere happening. Even with when we think about a mosquito, that is the thing come to us. Okay, we have to kill that mosquito. Otherwise, we can't. See, even the very tiny little creatures, the animals, that we have idea to destroy. And why? Because I want to be comfortable. That all the bugs and all the virus and that all the animals and whatever you don't like, any person even, And even whatever you don't like, any colors, whatever you don't like, any kind of other countries, nations, then what you do? You try to kill. And very today, if you know that today what in New York, that one guy, this Asian woman, and he pushed that woman to the train, in that train station, because he don't like. It's happened everywhere. So when we don't like, we destroy it. Why? Because I want to be happy. So that's what happened in the world. And then path to cessation, we take many, many ways. We build up many ways to destroy that all other unhappy things. So this is what happens. And underneath deeply, and we caught up in our own thoughts, and we start to classify and judge regarding other people in our own head with our own thoughts, and then we take decisions regarding other people, so other animals or other things which not belong to us. Why? Because I want to be comfortable. So just imagine, just take example, just regarding yourself, just you. If somebody else, take a decision regarding you, which and you don't know anything, how fair it is. This is what happens. Because whatever I think myself in my head, you have no idea. No any machines can find it. No anybody can get exactly what I think. Just go even for a, thinking about fruits. So whatever the fruits I think in myself, which I can see the color, the shape, and so I can see the trees and everything and the history, everything like that. But you don't know. You have no idea about it. So the same thing happened with the life also. But we think regarding other person or other things or other animals, what we think is going to be right. And in that condition, what happens? We take decisions regarding others. We take decisions regarding the outside world. Even we take decisions regarding the other animals. So then look, that itself is a kind of like a illusion. And it's a kind of like a lucid dreams. Lucid dreams. Lucid dreams is like you half asleep and it is a dream and still you enjoy it. So this also the same. Our life itself, when we take decisions, when we go with that, the ideas or the thoughts, our imagination, then it's a kind of like about the life. It's kind of like a lucid dream. So if you look very carefully, you understand it. And even with the whatever we studies with nowadays, it takes us to that deeper, the lucid dream. It's not allow you to take you away from it. And the religions, the philosophy, science, where it takes us to imagine. But this path doesn't go like that way. So this path, you no need to walk and you no need to come to practice meditation because of the God or because of the Buddha, because of you afraid for the hell and you want to go for the heaven, or this is nothing to do with the angels, or this is nothing to do with the light. This is nothing to do with anything. It is completely about your true nature. It's nothing to do with the kind of like from here, oh, I don't want anything, I go that way, I want to get that. It's nothing to do with grasping, holding, clinging to any kind of unknown, that the future result. It is about completely head to toes your moment of happening, and the life that you go through underneath you, that you know what is happening. You know yourself. So if you really want to understand that really what is happening there here, this is the path that you have to walk. So this path, when you start to walk in this path, the one of the major important thing that you have to settle down with the body. And it's about more and more balancing your body mind, and deeply recognizing, understanding, and then deeper contemplating. So the contemplating, that what you recognize within your own body, within your own mind, nothing to do with the outside. So when you go with that contemplating again and again and again and again, and you start to recognize this all happen as the result of something, and what you experience, it's limited only for this moment. But look ourselves, that we always caught up in ideas, thoughts, and it's kind of like we have deeper self-permanent, that the recognition, and we always try to concrete our experience. And from this moment, what we experience, and we evaluate, and we take decision regarding the future, that whatever the things that we already went through, we bring it to our present moment. So we always have the comparison. But in real life, this is a very, that the moment of happening, you will never going to experience anymore. In this very moment, that whatever around you, just imagine, from this computer, from these lights, and from this environment, from this network, and everything to yourself at your home, your electricity, computer, cell phone, iPad, this everything, your internet, this everything, what is it? There's a flow. It never going to happen. It is irreversible. But in our head, we already have permanent self. So that everything around us, that all the experience, moment by moment by moment by moment, changing. And ourselves, we have a permanent idea inside our head, which even that also not going to be permanent, but still we don't get it. Just look how many people that it's a we kind of like a deeper level of experiencing that amnesia, losing our memory every day. You don't know 10 years ago that for the breakfast or the lunch or whatever you ate. So maybe you don't know whatever the people you met. And so we already forgetting things. We know that. Even sometimes very special things, we forget. And sometimes, your husband, wife, the parents' name, you forget. I know sometimes people have that experience. And sometimes your parents' own, your own parents' death anniversary, you forget. But still, that whatever in our head in the moment, we never think, oh, this not going to be permanent. We don't think like that. When it is there, when we experience, we think, oh, this is it. This is going to be me. And this is me. This is permanent. And then we hold it to that. That itself, just, it's nothing to do with outside. Even yourself, you know, it is not going to be there like that. But still, you believe in it. So this path will allow you to go deeper into the moment and recognize your own feelings, your own thoughts. Because this thought that the mind also happen itself. You don't need to think. Then the mind has a way to gain thoughts itself. As example, when you are in dream, you may see people you never thought about, that kind of people. Then how you experience it? So what does that mean? So without any intention, your mind has a power to bring the thoughts, bring the names and forms to yourself, and you experience it as a reality while you're dreaming, maybe. So that reality, that what you experience in your head, you can't deny it. You can't say no, because you saw that. You experience it without any intention from you. So then how you know? Just imagine that the most of the dreams, that 80% of our dreams, unhappy dreams. There are very few dreams that you had very happy dreams. Even the dreams, see, that unknowingly, without our intention, if the mind itself project and bring any thought sometimes, and still you are responsible to experience it, and then it is 80% itself unhappy things. So then you have to come to a point and understand yourself that whatever you experience in your head, maybe things happen and everything that you knew, but how you know, how yourself know that whatever happened in your head in that very moment is a real thought, or it is just project just developed by your own mind, like you are in deep sleep. It's a fair question. So you have to answer it to yourself. From what condition that you know the thoughts come to you? So as example, you were in a very deep sleep and you had a very, the kind of like a dream that you really experienced, even sweating or maybe running, shouting, moving your hands, and it's kind of like 100% real. Okay, now you get out of the dream and you have to understand you experience it. And without any intention yourself, your brain project this and you have no idea how it happened. So then it happened in a dream, it's okay. But the thing is, now you went through that and the mind project this, all the thoughts. So then you go to market, or you go to gas station, or you go to your workplace, and even at home, or you do something. And then suddenly, things start to happen that which you don't like. And it really makes you mad. And now you go through very challenging moment, which that it attacked your comfort zone. And then you take a decision, okay, I'm suffering and the reason is that. And then what you do, you're going to take a very action to resist that experience. So your mind is start to bring the ideas to do this, do that, do this. How you know that the experience happen in your dream state? See that the mind itself, without any conscious idea, without any kind of intention, the mind brought certain ideas to you and you experience it as a reality. So now here, in your workplace, at home, or around anywhere, in a, whatever the environment, you experiencing a situation and your mind start to tell you, do this, do that. And how you know that is the exactly right things to do, or otherwise it is just the mind bringing, it's kind of like you are in the dream. So the question on the table, and you have to get into yourself, and it is a challenge for you to find the answer. It happened from the beginning of the human history to today. It happened everywhere. But when you are on this path, you start to get the solution to this question. You are capable to understand this. And then you recognize it's not about the outside. It's not about this or that. It's nothing to do with this person or that person. It's nothing to do with the him or she. It is about the clarity of recognition, your own mind. And it come out of the balancing the mind and the body, and developing the strength on the recognition, and developing the clarity with the recognition, and understanding this whole situation as a result of cause and conditions. When you're capable to do that, the beauty is the experiencer going to disappear. But when it comes to anything, when you start to recognize anything based with the permanent experiencer point of view, you always in a dream. So this path take you to develop that deeper perfection inside you with your own mind. And when it comes to that recognition, it's kind of like that you build a house, build the house, and then you're not going to take it part by part by part. When you see the house, this you recognize each and every cause and condition and how it create it as a house. And when it comes to the recognition as your pinnacle, and you're going to experience the whole thing as one. So that is a completely different way of understanding. But we always in day-to-day life, we personalize, evaluate, and compare, and with the dualistic mind, we always try to recognize things. When we do that way, the whole incident we can't see. But practicing tranquility meditation allows you to first tranquilize your mind, calm down your mind, and have an undisturbed mind. So when you have that undisturbed mind, out of that you develop your mental balance. And with that mental balance, you develop more and self-discipline with the practice. And out of that, you become more conscious regarding your own body. And once you become more conscious regarding your own body, you can analyze the sensation. Once you're able to recognize the sensation clearly, your reaction part going to become slow down, recognizing part going to become more accurate. And in that time, by the time you can develop the analytical mind, contemplating regarding your own thoughts. And then you become the person to evaluate yourself by your own thoughts rather than caught up on the thoughts. And then you recognize that whatever the thoughts also happening inside you come as a result of that whatever the pain and pleasure you evaluate by yourself, judging and classifying yourself with your own mind, which is nothing to do with the outside world. When the day you are capable to do that, and then you understand the path you walk take you to liberate yourself from this self-lucid dream that we experience, which we call the life or the samsara. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left, the neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body, please, and scan head to toes 3 times yourself. And say Supatteva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. So allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation of it, just recognize inhalation as inhalations, exhalation as exhalation. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation. without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddhang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.